Portion control has long been championed as a simple and effective strategy for weight management. Eat smaller amounts, use smaller plates, count your calories. In theory, this seems sensible. But in the real world, portion control often fails not because people lack willpower, but because the modern food environment is fundamentally engineered to override it. The foods dominating today's diet are designed not just to be eaten, but to be eaten in excess. This built-in drive for overconsumption makes portion control alone an inadequate, often frustrating strategy for preventing or reversing obesity. At the core of this challenge is the way ultra-processed foods, UPFs, are manufactured. These products are not merely high in calories, they are systematically engineered for hyperpalatability. That means precise combinations of sugar, fat, salt, and flavor enhancers are used to trigger the brain's reward system in ways that make stopping difficult. The result is a kind of sensory override. Signals from the stomach or hormones like leptin and peptide YY that would normally indicate fullness are delayed or ignored in the presence of such intensely pleasurable tastes and textures. The body may be technically full, but the mind is still craving more. The problem isn't just taste, it's texture and digestibility too. Many modern snacks and fast foods are designed to be quickly chewed and swallowed. Soft, melt-in-your-mouth textures reduce oral processing time and delay satiety, making it easier to eat large amounts before fullness sets in. A bag of chips, a soft cookie, or a creamy dessert can be consumed in minutes, delivering hundreds of calories without giving the brain time to register them. In contrast, whole foods like apples, beans, or cooked vegetables require more chewing and digestion, sending stronger and more timely satiety signals. Portion control often assumes that the consumer has a neutral relationship with food, that they can look at a serving size and feel satisfied stopping there. But this ignores the way modern foods are packaged and marketed. Portion sizes have steadily increased over the past few decades, especially in restaurant meals and packaged snacks. A single-serve beverage or snack today might contain 2 or 3 times the calories considered reasonable just a generation ago. When large sizes are normalized, small portions begin to feel inadequate or even unsatisfying, even if calorically sufficient. What's more, packaging rarely aligns with realistic consumption. A bag labeled as 2 servings is often eaten in one sitting. A sugary yogurt or energy bar might contain more calories than a balanced meal, but it's marketed as a light snack. These misleading cues make it difficult for consumers to gauge true intake, especially when serving sizes are hidden in fine print or require mental math. In this context, portion control becomes a guessing game, one that the modern eater is set up to lose. There's also the issue of metabolic response. Not all calories affect the body equally. Highly refined foods tend to cause sharp blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes that trigger renewed hunger and cravings. A 300-calorie pastry and a 300-calorie lentil soup have very different effects on insulin, satiety, and energy regulation. This means that even when people succeed in reducing portions of processed foods, they may still feel unsatisfied, tired, or driven to eat again soon after. Simply shrinking the size of a problematic food does little to address the physiological chaos it creates. The failure of portion control is most evident in environments where food is engineered, abundant, and aggressively promoted. At social events, in restaurants, and on grocery shelves, individuals are constantly exposed to stimuli that encourage eating beyond need. The smell of fried food, the sight of oversized combo deals, the cheerful visuals on packaging. All of these cues drive consumption in ways that are difficult to consciously resist. In these situations, asking someone to rely solely on internal restraint is like asking them to walk against a powerful current. Yet this doesn't mean that people are powerless. What works far better than just shrinking portions of hyper-engineered foods is changing the food landscape itself, starting with the quality and composition of what's being eaten. Whole, unprocessed foods naturally regulate intake. They are more nutrient-dense, more filling, and less likely to cause hormonal imbalances or reward-driven overeating. When people build meals around vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and lean proteins, they often eat fewer calories without trying. Their satiety signals are more reliable, and they're less tempted to snack excessively between meals. Even more promising are strategies that combine portion awareness with food environment redesign. This includes meal planning, home cooking, reducing reliance on packaged snacks, and minimizing exposure to food advertising. It also involves societal and policy-level change, clearer labeling, restrictions on portion inflation in fast food, and incentives for retailers to promote whole foods over UPFs. In the end, portion control is not inherently flawed, it's just incomplete. It assumes the food itself is neutral, when in fact many modern foods are designed to defeat restraint. Rather than asking individuals to work harder at eating less of something engineered to make them want more, the better approach is to shift toward foods that cooperate with the body's natural hunger and fullness cues. True dietary success lies not in eating tiny amounts of engineered products, but in building a lifestyle around foods that nourish without manipulation.